I was watching YouTube videos about COD Zombies last week on World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, BO3. Okay. I never played BO4, really Cold War, any of those newer zombies games. So I didn't really have any really affiliation for those guys. But when I was watching them, I had this sensation come over me. It wasn't necessarily nostalgia. It was kind of this somber feeling, almost this feeling of missing out. And then in the title of one of the videos, it said, "Is BO3 Zombies still good after 10 years or 10 years later," or something like that. And I kind of just sat there and it made me really come to terms with how many years had passed and how I feel like as a kid, I kind of really took these things for granted, you know? And that, not my life as a whole, though I do really appreciate my life, but the small things I now think back on and I'm really coming to terms with how much those things really meant to me. Using zombies as an example, I really liked the mode of Call of Duty Zombies. I did. The only issue is that I never truly experienced it with the community. I never gave it a chance because I was really tied up in competitive Call of Duty, playing multiplayer, that kind of stuff, which I had tremendous amounts of fun on. So I'm not sitting here saying I didn't have fun doing what I was doing, but I kind of wish now I really got into zombies more because I really liked the lore, all of this kind of stuff, right? High rounding was also something that really, really fascinated me. But again, I never really got into it. I want to use this video as kind of a PSA to anyone who's 25 and under. I know it's a cliche, but please really take a moment almost every single day and at least acknowledge the things that you're enjoying. Not really appreciating, but just acknowledge them and be present while you're doing them because those things may not last forever. And if they do last forever, like Call of Duty Zombies, those game modes, the moment to be in a community, the moment to play the game at its peak or to participate in an event that is super popular that you're enjoying might not be forever, right? That excitement, that camaraderie that you get from events or anything like that. So yeah, just take a moment, acknowledge where you are, and really try to be in the moment while you're doing whatever you're doing. Like I said, as a kid, or even years ago when I was a teenager, I was talking about just now how I really feel like I didn't appreciate or acknowledge what I was doing, right? Like what I was enjoying. And it kind of got me thinking, are we really supposed to be appreciating the little things though as a child, It's one of those things where I don't know if we're supposed to be fully aware of what we're experiencing. I would always have my parents telling me, "I hope you appreciate this and that and the other." And of course I did. I'm not going to sit here and say I wasn't appreciative as a kid, but I don't really think I understood at the time what appreciating things meant or what acknowledging the moment meant. I feel like as a kid, you shouldn't be needing to think about this kind of stuff, As a kid, those are your memories. Those are something that you're experiencing in the moment. And it's something that you will cherish forever if it's something that is bringing you happiness, bringing you joy. And then hopefully as an adult, those memories are worth remembering and you can reminisce on them. And that's nostalgia, right? That is the greatest gift that you could have is nostalgia. This video isn't really about nostalgia, but when you feel that way about an event that happened as a kid and you want to relive that, that means that you lived a life worth living. You lived a childhood that was worth missing, which I think we should acknowledge and appreciate. Though that time has passed, that doesn't mean we can't do the same thing now, but actually have an idea of how to be in the moment. I now find day to day, when I feel myself taking life or the moments that I'm in for granted, I attempt to take a back seat and just try to really understand that what I may be doing and experiencing might be something someone will never get to do. Now, this isn't a guilt trip, like first world problems kind of video, but it is worth mentioning because I know for a fact that some of the things that I do in my life and have done are things that people will either never get to experience or things that people can't even comprehend trying to experience. I'm grateful, but I'm always trying to live in the moment now. You know, I'm not old by any means, like I'm 28. But I'm really starting to understand the value of being able to do the things that I am, whether that be physical, celebrate things, or just be able to be around someone who may not be able to be here one day. That day could be sooner than later. Hopefully not. But, I'm starting to really think about those things. Every moment I have with something that I enjoy, whether that be video games, exercise, or people, I'm really trying to be in the moment and experience what I'm experiencing as fully as I can. I think that's where regret comes from. Regret comes from not appreciating where you were and then wishing you could go back to really take in what was happening. Obviously, through life, you don't want to live with regret, right? If you do regret something like that in the past, I wish I talked to my grandparents more. That just means that if you have people around you that you don't want to have that regret feeling for, so whether that be your parents, then try to do what you wish you did with your grandparents, with your parents. So talk to your parents more, learn from what you did. It kind of adds on to what I talked about in the last video when it comes to ownership and owning your mistakes and everything like that. But yeah, regret really, in my opinion, only happens when you refuse to live in the moment and acknowledge what you're going through and appreciate how it's making you feel. Wanting a moment to end or not acknowledging the moment just to move on to the next when we live in such a limited life feels like a recipe for regret. And this is just now something I never strive to fall into. If I have my health, family, friends, and a hobby that I love, I'm more than likely living someone else's dream. And I've come to realize that. And again, I don't want this to sound like I'm saying I have everything I could ever want. Poor me if I have a problem. Like I have so many other things going for me. Everyone is entitled to be upset and have their own problems. But it's when it comes to things where you're wishing you did something in the past, it just comes down to not being in the moment and taking something for granted. Thinking back, I had so many great memories on Call of Duty with my friends, and I'm so grateful that I was able to experience those things and really look back and understand that I lived a life playing video games that is worth remembering and worth having nostalgia and yearn for. But now when I'm doing the same thing, I'm understanding the moment that I'm in. When I was a kid, I didn't understand the moment I was in. I thought everything was going to be like that forever, right? It can be, not the same, but it can be similar, right? But as an adult now, nearing my 30s, it's really hitting me. And I just want to make sure that I don't really take a moment for granted. I want to make sure that every single time I'm doing something I love with someone I love, that this is something that will sit in my memory for hopefully forever. And then years down the line, I'll look back and just with nostalgia, but not with regret. Yeah, I lived that, and that was an amazing time. I really hope you guys enjoyed the conversation today. If you guys have anything to add on to the comments, obviously, I always want to hear. Thank you guys so much for all the support on the videos. I really do appreciate it. And happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I will hopefully get some videos recorded so I can actually upload Wednesday and Saturday. Normal streams, actually, for the next week, because I'm here on Sunday. And then I go away, and then I'll be back the next Sunday. So, yeah, we'll be getting some good stream time in, and then hopefully have a few more in over the next few days over the break. So, thank you guys again so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.